I've known Sean a long time, and the real reason why I'm here is I coach John Husky, and I had the great fortune of coaching a lot of good players in my time at Pickerington. And the thing that all those good players had in common was that they were even better people. And there's no better people than John Husky. None. He did a lot for me. We've been friends since he quit playing for me. I had the honor of being in his wedding. And when he asked me to come today, I knew I had to get here. There's a lot of important jobs in this world, but to me, there's no more important job than being a coach. I think that should be one of the most revered positions. My life was greatly influenced by the coaches I had, particularly my college coach, Jim Burson. You might know his son, who was Jay, who played at High State. Your parents would. He now does some radio work for the High State Network, but Coach Burson was all the coach that any player could ever ask to have. And, you know, to me, coach is a term of significance. And sometimes, like you go to these AAU games and you get these guys that call themselves coaches that aren't really coaches. You guys are fortunate. You got real coaches here. You got real coaches here. You know, I remember my son going through this process. He was he started for me his senior year. You know, he's a pretty good basketball player in the OCC, probably average at best. But I remember him going through this process. And to this day, he's 26 years old now. He teaches in Grandview. To this day, when he sees his youth coaches, he still refers to them as coach. And it makes me feel good every time I hear him say that to those guys. You know, why do coaches do this? Well, when I coached, I had two goals, two simple goals. I want to make them better people. I want to make them better players. That was the only two goals I had. I never talked about winning. None of that stuff. That stuff will take care of itself. I wanted to make them better people. If they weren't doing what was expected in the classroom, our team was running. Not that guy, our team. If they weren't doing what was expected in the classroom, there was no playing around. It wasn't going to last. You had to toe the line, and you had to be better than the students walking those halls. These guys are here to make you better. And sometimes you're not going to like the way they do it. That's just the way this sport is. Basketball's fast-paced. Coaches are going to be loud. They're going to be aggressive. And you just got to learn to hear what they're saying, not how they're saying it. And you'll go places. What's important to you? What do you want to get out of this? I heard Coach say this. To me, the most important skill in basketball is listening. Every good player I coach, and I coach great players, they had to be good or we wouldn't win all those games. Every good player I coach was a great listener. The better the player, the better he listened. And listening is a skill. I know ball handling is a skill. I know shooting is a skill and all that stuff. Listening is the most important skill. For you guys, I watched you guys today. You guys are pretty good. Mr. Bailey's done a good job with you guys. You guys all make eye contact. Always make eye contact with your coach when he's talking to you. Whether he's happy or whether he's mad, make eye contact with that coach. Always give him a head nod when you're out on the court. Just acknowledge the fact that you heard him. If your teammate throws you a good pass, point to your teammate. All those things will make your team better. Eliminate bad body language. There's nothing worse than thinking you're more important than your team. You make a bad play, you want to pout. Everybody knows you're trying to make a good play. You don't have to pout. I always say this whenever I speak to a group of kids. There's four things you always ought to remember. One is please. Always say please. Two, always say thank you. Three, yes, sir. Four, no, sir. You do those four things, your coach will like you. I can remember going to play at Mount Vernon when we were arch rivals, back when Mount Vernon was really good and Pickerington was really good. And I remember we got beat up there one night by 2 points, 57-55. I wasn't too happy leaving. And as I left, the concession stand lady came out to me and said that every one of your players, they gave us food afterwards, every one of your players said thank you. I thought that was pretty good because we just got our butts beat and we were playing for first place that night. Please, thank you. Yes, sir. No, sir. The other thing I heard Coach say this, you have to be a good student. You got to be a good student. If you're screwing up in the classroom, if you're screwing up in the hallway, it's going to catch up to you on the basketball court. I firmly believe that. There can't be inconsistencies in your life. Try to be the best student you can be. It'll make you a better player. This will probably be the most important thing I say today. Be a good teammate. My son wasn't a great player. He was no John Husky. John Husky could fill it up. He could shoot. He could score. My son could shoot a little bit, but he wasn't a great player. But in all my years of coaching, and I know all of our parents, all of us parents are nuts. You know, we think our kid's the center of the universe. My son was the best teammate that I ever coached. When he was a sophomore, we had a real good player. He went on to play football at Michigan. He's now in the National Football League. And he kind of missed an event of ours. And he was a freshman at the time. And I didn't dress him for the tournament, the first game. And his dad was hopping mad at me, but I didn't dress him because the rules were rules. And I went to the players and I said, who do you want to dress? Now, my son at the time was a sophomore, and he wasn't very good. I mean, he was an okay JV player, but he definitely wasn't a varsity player. They said, we want your son to dress. I said, well, why is that? And they said, because he's the best teammate on the team, because he would meet those guys on the floor and give them 5 and all that stuff. So he got to dress the rest of the tournament run. We went to the district finals. It was great for him. So be a good teammate. I heard Coach Bailey say this, there's always something bigger than you. There's always something bigger than you. We live in a world today where everything's about the individual, about getting to the next level, getting to the, you know. I was an okay player in high school and an okay player in college, but the things that meant the most to me were the things we accomplished as a team. You know, the team is always bigger than you. There's always something bigger than you. As far as this stuff, what should you get out of it? Like, as far as getting in this gym every night, I think the first thing you better learn is you better learn how to compete, and you better learn the value of practice. You're going to practice a lot more times than you're ever going to play. If you can't embrace practice, you'll never be the player that you hope to be. Do the right thing. Do the right thing. You know, some of you guys are a little older here. You're getting to the age where you're going to have to start making some choices. Just do the right thing. If you do the right thing, something good will happen for you. A couple other things and I'll let you go. I think you have to understand that there's more to this game than just scoring points. You know, I think most people, most players, probably most parents, evaluate their son's play by how many points they score. On every good team I coached, I had every team's got a leading scorer. I usually had one guy who can flat out fill it up. But you better have somebody who can guard the other team's best player. You better have somebody who can get that ball to that best player. There's all kinds of different things. You got to have somebody who can set screens to get that best player open. There's all kinds of ways to do this. Do your part, and good things will happen. And the last thing I'll leave you with, you players at least, is if you want to be the best player you want to be, you must, and I'll say this again, you must accept coaching. I don't care how good you think you are. I don't care how good you're going to be. You must accept coaching. If you can't take coaching, you'll never get to the highest level you can get to. My final thought, I was a long-time coach. I was a head coach 30 years. But I was a parent too. You know, I coached my son. Some people said that wouldn't go good. I'll tell you right now, it was the best experience I ever had in coaching. Me and him are a lot alike. We can be kind of hard-headed. He kind of thought he knew more than I do. We got that resolved quickly. But no, he's a good young man. But you know, I've been on both sides of that thing. As parents, here's the way I would look at this whole situation. Whether it be on the junior high team you play, the grade school team you play, the AAU team play, embrace it. Enjoy it. Support your son. Support the other players. Support the coach. Sometimes that's hard to do to support coaches. I know I can be a knucklehead. It's great for your son to be a part of this. It's just a great, great thing. And I would institute as parents the 24-hour rule, because I know how it is. I don't care if you're playing that baseball and we're going to play you 7 innings this day and you're going to play 3.5 the next. People go bonkers first time their kid sits out. People go bonkers first time a coach yells at their kid. Wait 24 hours. Just wait. Give it some time. Understand what it's all about in the big show. You know, all that really matters from all this. All that really matters, like all anybody's going to remember about you, about your son, is were they a good teammate? And then the friendships they make, that's going to be important, and the life skills they learn. This is one great game. I love this game. I'm 62 years old. I wish I could coach it forever. But time catches up with us all. Enjoy it while you can. You got good people here. Make the most of it, and I really appreciate you listening to me. Good luck to you.